Aloha! Today we're going to be talking about how to use the landmark series and how to see your treble clef. The whole idea of this is so you can start visualizing your chords. And if you haven't seen this before, this is a great example to start off very cool. The couple ideas that we're going to be going through. One, you're going to find out where all your C's are on the grand staff. We're going to show you that that works for every note, and then how to use that with your chords, like your triads, and how to get visual representations. How to use your relative major and minor to find positions or get like a sense of where you are on the instrument of choice. We're going to be talking about for the eyes of the piano for this one, but it works for any instrument, just knowing your register. And then lastly, how to use these to have an idea using something called the voice above and then the voice below. Cool. So through the process of doing this, you need to know what a staff is or a stave. Now the best way to do that, I find, is to draw 3 lines. 1, 2, 3. These pens are the worst. And then 1, 2, 3. When you have these lines, put lines in betwixt. So you have 5 lines. That's how many are on a, That's how many are on a staff. Now, even though there is a huge distance between the 2 staffs, when we connect them, it makes each individual staff into the grand staff or stave. You know, here's our treble clef. The most common clefs are the G clef, as you can see, the lowercase g. And then when we put this bass clef, you can see that, you know, if you connect the dots here, in theory, wiener, that makes enough. This is the F clef. This is the treble clef, right? Well, this lower part of it looks like a G. Therefore, that is the easiest way to know what clefs these are. From there, if you know that this is the G line and you know that this is the F line, you are sitting pretty. Now, let's talk about this. The grand staff is top stave plus bottom stave. That gives us a huge amount of space to hear la 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 la. It's huge. So what we're going to talk about is how to use our relative majors or minors to find the other notes on this system. Now, let's just look at this through the eyes of, how about G major? G major has 1 sharp. That sharp is F sharp. So when we list our alphabeticals, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, we get G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and then back to 1, the prime, the G. All these are major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, and then diminished as our sonorities based off of our dyads, which are a major third, minor third, minor third, major third, major third, minor third, and then minor third. The relative minor of G major is E minor. We can find that by going up a major 6th, or from here going down a minor third. These will always equal 9. So if you had a major 7th from G to F sharp, G to F sharp would be a minor 2nd. 7, 8, 9. Or if you are familiar with the circle of fifths, C goes to G, G goes to D, D goes to A, and A goes to E. If we kept going with the circle, we would just fill in all of our keys that have 7 sharps. No sharps, 1 sharp, as you could see. When you go to D, it has F sharp and C sharp. A has F sharp, C sharp, and J sharp. E has F sharp, C sharp, J sharp, and D sharp, so on and so forth. However, when you do a mini shaka, C to A minor, C, D, E, F, G, A is 6 notes away. So when we go G to E, G to E, relative minor, relative major. D major has a relative minor, which means the key of D major, which has 2 sharps, F sharp and C sharp, this could either be in the key of D major or in the key of B minor. Having said that, if you went to A flat would be Fs. If you're not familiar with the circle of fifths enough, I'd suggest drawing it every day. However, we just realized that G major has a relative minor of E. Well, here's our G. Let's go down. G goes to F and then to E. The bottom line of the treble clef is E, which means that the bottom line of the bass clef is G. Let's count up. G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Yeah, that pans out. When we go F, the note right above F is going to be G. Right above G is A. The top line of the bass clef is called the A line. The space right above the bass clef is called the B. Now, don't let it get lost on you. When we play this C right here, C, D, E, F, G, the note right below it is a B. These two notes are the exact same note and pitch, which means when writing music, you could either write it as a B note below the C, or you could write it as a B note above the bass clef. I hope that makes sense. So here's where it really gets kind of cool with knowing what your relative majors and minors are. When we go through the process of writing these out, A, B, C, D, E, F, the top, how about this? The middle line of the treble clef is a B. So B minor is the relative minor of what key? D major. Cool. Well, the middle line on the bass clef is the D. If you know your relative majors or relative minors from the circle of fifths, like we just did, or you could count 6 notes up, C, D, E, F, G, A. Oh, you can't see on that side. Blah, 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 blah. How about this? The key of A. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. When we go here to the A, we can go up here and find that this is an F. Doesn't matter if it's F sharp or F flat, you know. It's still the F line or space. That's where you're going to be putting your accidentals or putting your key signature. So a good way to know your positioning on your staff is to find yourself knowing your relative majors and minors. Here's where we're going to do our C's. The idea is this. We can do it with any letter inside of our musical alphabets. We're just doing it with the C because one of the things we learned first on piano or all of our instruments is where middle C is. So middle C is going to be on a ledger line. It is the first ledger line below the treble clef, C. Since this is on a line, the next C, the C5, is going to be on a space. Well, if we keep going up, we find C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Our next C, our C6, is going to be on a line, which means our C7 is going to be all the way up here on a space. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Our top C, that is the top C on the piano, the last piano key, is on a line. Line, space, line, space, line. Which means if we follow that order, when we go down to a C3, our C3, G, A, B, C, is right here on a space. Our next one, when we go 2 lines underneath here, because we have an F, right below an F we have an E, right below an E we have a D, F, E, D, and then C. This C is our C2. It is on a line, line, space, line. And then when we go, we go all the way down. If you count all the way down, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, and then C, you will find that below these notes, you have C, B, A, G, F, E, D, and then C. The lowest note that you have on the piano is going to be an A note. It will be the lowest note underneath 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ledger lines. To know where C is, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right below that, C. Now, since we already said A is here on a space, that means that up here, A would be on the line. And then when we keep going up, A would be on the space. And then it would go all the way up here and be on the top line. And then on the space. And then we would go all the way up F, G, A, space. A, well, it's on a line, or I'm sorry, F, G, A, it's on the line. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, space, which means line. Do you see how this is going? If we were going to take the 2 chord from the key of G minor, we would have A, C, and E, because there are no C sharp in here. Change the key. Boomity boom. Look at here. When we see this, if we were to put a note above every one of these, put that one there, put this one here, AC, and then another, oh, I don't need that line, boom. We would be building out E, A, C, E. Here's a C, here's an E, there's the A. You could have also written it as 2 lines below the ledger line on the treble clef. I know this seems kind of impossibly interesting, but here's what we look at. Knowing what your relative majors are, knowing what your relative minors are, being able to find your relative major on the treble clef and going, cool, I have the treble clef that has a D. The D is on the second line from the top. Well, when you go and you find these notes, here's our lines. When we have a treble clef, right, and we've got a note right here, G, A, B, C, D. Okay, well, relatively, if we take that and we go all the way down, we could find this. What is D minor a relative minor of? What is D minor the 6th of? Okay, D, E, 6, 7, 1. We don't even have to do the rest of the key because we know that in the key of F, it's the 1 chord. So when we go down to the bass clef, this is the F. This is the D. That's how we kind of know relativity. And if you could teach yourself that this is the E note on the treble clef, and when you go down to the bottom here, it's the G, you will remember that E minor is the relative minor of G major. Same for every one of these. When we go to A, F sharp. You could go to A flat, it would be F. You could go to A double flat, it would be F double, F flat. So long story short, I hope this is a great way to start seeing the notes that seem impossible to play. We're going to start viewing those as either looking like this, or we're going to start viewing them as looking like this. It will either be on the line or on the space. The only variation that we will ever have would be maybe something like this that you will get used to knowing if a chord is a family chord or it is a 4th or a 3rd. And just like we did with piano, it will make more sense. Just like we do with our spacing on strings, it will make more sense. And then lastly, the whole reason why we would write something that would use the context of having 8 VA or having 8 BA would be so we don't have to write things all the way up in a crazy register. If you write an 8 BA right above your staff right here on either one, it will put it a voice above 8 VA or a voice below 8 BA. We'll talk about that more in the future. However, this is a great way to understand your relative majors and minors, know the C's on your grand staff, and know what an octave above and below is. It was good seeing you. Aloha.